So what do you expect in the world of tech going into next year? Well, the Wall Street Journal has some predictions. I want to share my thoughts and reactions to this, and I want to get your thoughts as well. So it says tech that will change your life in 2026. Okay, hit me. What do you got? First one, Siri's comeback tour. They say, quick, name 3 major AI players. We'll wait. All right. So I'd go with, I guess, OpenAI ChatGPT is the leader. Then you got Google, and you got their Gemini thing, Anthropic, I guess you could say. Other AIs, you could actually argue DeepSeek in China. So what they say at Wall Street Journal, they said, bet you didn't name Apple. No, I didn't. But maybe you soon will when Siri gets an upgrade, really. So, and actually they even mentioned Alexa. I forgot about that one. I've never used Alexa. I think that's the Amazon one. If you guys have any comments on that one, I'd like to hear your thoughts. But Siri's been far behind for years. And whether or not they can pull it off, because in fact they've been losing a lot of staff, but evidently Apple's still going strong, trying to pull something and a rabbit out of the hat. I'm kind of skeptical of this one though. I would like it to be better. Frankly, guys, I have an iPhone, I have a Mac computers in the house. They do have Siri on them, but I always turn it off because it's just not very good. So we'll see. 2026, they're saying Siri. All right, robots enter the home. Oh, interesting. Are we getting the human ones? What are we saying here? Silicon Valley is eager to free AI from the chatbot screen and put it on your body, or give it a body. Okay. When they say put on your body, I'm like, okay. Will you get a home robot in 2026? Probably not, but some will. 2 humanoid robot startups plan to kick off in home U.S. trials. Okay. There's 1X with the plushy gray Neo. We've seen this one before. I think they're a long ways away. And then you got Sunday Robotics with this baseball cap hearing Memo. The goal is to collect real-world data to make robots better at chores, folding laundry, and unloading the dishwasher. So I'm not against this stuff, and they're mentioning the 1X robot one. It's going to be a teleoperator. They're going to have cameras, so they're going to be able to see around your house and stuff like that. Some people may not want that. I probably don't want that either if it is indeed a teleoperator and someone's looking around my house when I'm not there, or when I'm there. Either one, maybe not. We have a robot vacuum here. We're fine with that. And if there would, everywhere a robot that could do the dishes, sure. But, for the time being, you got a dishwasher, you got a washing machine, right? So we have those. You don't really count it per robots, but it is automation in the house. Yeah, okay. What else you got, Wall Street Journal? Scarily smart self-adapting malware. Huh, okay. This past year saw a 400% rise in successfully phished personal info, including logins, largely due to AI. Quote, AI makes better malware more accessible to more people, and that sucks. I agree. Hackers with little technical knowledge can use AI models to create convincing deepfakes or spin up websites and emails designed to capture passwords and 2-factor codes. Yeah, so this is actually, I wasn't expecting this. Basically, they're saying, AI can change your life in 2026. Is someone hacking you, etc. They always say when you get some sort of weird email, whatever, don't click any links on that, or don't click on it at all. Don't open it. I never know what to make of this stuff because, this day and age we're inundated with so much spam. And I'll just be frank with you guys. I saw one the other day. It was in my spam folder because you always check, just to make sure there's nothing in there that you need to read. But it looked pretty legit. And sometimes these spam things, because it's just, they're guessing all the time, be it those, PayPal, Amazon, whatever. Sometimes they look real. So always be careful out there and check the address, because that's what I did. And I was like, okay, it's not real. But yeah, with AI, maybe that indeed becomes a bigger problem. So that is something to watch for next year. Apple finally gets a Fold. I'm kind of curious on this one. So I told my wife maybe next year we're thinking about getting a phone. We haven't bought a new phone for I have the 13, so I think that's 3 or 4 years old already. Just time to get a new phone, I think. But we waited on the 17. It just, the rumors out there, I think the 18 might be pretty good. The foldy one, though, I think might be too expensive. We'll see what it ends up being. So let's see. It says, for years, Samsung and other Android phone makers have been unfolding phones into mini tablets and flipping them open. You could say flipping it off too, but flipping it open since the 2000s. Apple will soon join the gymnastics. The first foldable iPhone is expected to launch alongside iPhone 18 lineup in the fall. It will be a book style with multiple cameras and Touch ID instead of Face ID. Now, this is a bit of a disappointment for me because I kind of want flip, like the old Razor, not necessarily, book kind of thing. I was literally at the store today because the grocery stores all in Korea basically are kind of like, whichever to say it, like, multi-stores where they have, different things in there. And I was actually looking at the Samsung ones thinking, oh, is it time to switch over to Samsung for me? Because those flip phones look pretty good for them. And even they got a trifold over there at Samsung. Well, it's actually 2 folds, but it's a piecer thing. I think Apple is really far behind and they're losing market share. Plus you got a lot of, not just Samsung, but a lot of low cost Chinese products coming in. So we'll see if that comes in. They're saying early predictions is about $2,000 for the foldy phone. So yeah, it's a lot of money for a phone. I think $1,000 is a lot of money for a phone, let alone $2,000. What else we got coming? AI outgrows large language models. Okay, what do you mean by this? The large language models that power ChatGPT and other generative AI chatbots are here to stay, but they're also frustratingly limited, right? And probably aren't going to get us to human-level artificial and general intelligence. A growing cadre of researchers, many of them the same ones who brought us LLMs and their underlying architecture, are working on what comes next. Okay. So basically they're saying we're going to make a leap forward. And yeah, Jan LeCun, I think he was at Meta Facebook. He's like one of the leaders in AI. So he went to go do his own thing. And there's still a lot of money floating around in this stuff. I do believe we're in an AI bubble, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there wouldn't be innovations going into next year. And so that's an interesting one. Will we get machines that actually think opposed to machines, LLMs, which basically scrape the internet for opinions on, various websites and stuff like that? Doesn't really think in the perception that you might think it is. I know the way that people think of AI from the layman's perspective, you think, oh, it's a, thinking machine. It's going to be just like HAL or something. But at the moment, it basically, scrubs the internet and such. For coding, I've heard people find it very, very useful. So I don't do that kind of stuff. So I'd be like to, hear from any of you who do code, if you're all using AI these days. I imagine they do. And I think a lot of students are using this stuff as well, as many I hear from teachers and professors are complaining. But the actual thinking stuff, you never know. We'll see if it ends up coming out. I think we're a long ways from getting it to be the sci-fi type of thing, but that is something to look out for. Starlink gets real competition. So that's the Elon Musk thing, basically satellite internet. And real competition, really? Okay. It says people in the remote parts of the world can now get their internet from space, thanks largely to SpaceX's Starlink. And but some kind of AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile showdown in the sky. Starlink is finally getting bona fide rivals. Oh, Amazon's got something coming up. And I think Elon's on his way out in terms of, any kind of, how can I say, first mover advantage. The thing with Elon, be it your SpaceX or your Teslas or whatever, you can, buy something early on, which is essentially what he did. He hasn't really, how can I say, kept up with the speed of innovation. I know Elon Musk fans get really sad when I say that, but if you see what's going on with other companies, they're hungry. And I think I think this is a real thing. So Starlink, if Tesla's already facing serious competition, if Starlink really takes a beating, I think Elon is really, really in trouble. I mean, he already is. And then we'll see. Proving you're human. What is this one? How do you prove your identity on the web? Code sent over text, selfies, your social security number. Unfortunately, hackers have exploited vulnerabilities in a flawed system. Okay. Plus, people get locked out of their own accounts, unable to prove who they really are. Oh, I hate that. If you forget your password or whatever, and you can't access your account anymore. So what are we doing now? With the rise of malicious AI agents, increased calls for age verification, I see, and bots are ruining everything. So there's going to be more push to basically prove who you are. The thing is with the, I was just thinking about this in my head, the Face ID stuff. Because there's a car here actually in Korea, and I think you have in USA, that the Genesis, they actually put facial recognition on some of their cars, and then they ended up removing it. And I always wonder with that kind of stuff, if take a picture of someone's face, hold up a photocopy. Is it that easy to break into people's houses, break into people's phones, or break into people's cars? So I think we're gonna have to work on that. So this is an interesting one, yeah. And they're talking about EU digital IDs, Apple digital IDs. So yeah, there's going to be a whole industry of proving who you are, proving you're human, and even in the age of the Trump ICE stuff, right? Proving your citizenship and just basically proving that you exist. Mind reading for fun and profit. Okay, for 2026, what is this? Neurotech, okay. That is digital interfaces that pick up your brain and nerve cells will be a big thing in the not too distant future. One option will be the direct computer interface like the ones being pioneered by Elon Musk Neuralink. Meta's got a wristband coming out. Current example, the band reads nerve signals in a wearer's wrist and translates them into actions in the company's virtual reality headsets and augmented reality smart glasses. Wow. I knew Meta was doing something of this nature, and that's why I'm going to use the stuff. But whether or not they're going to be close is anyone's guess. And they're saying there's a new one here even. A new offering from startup Cognition could someday help diagnose neurological and brain disorders. An early version now in clinical trial consists of an Apple Vision headset and custom headband with embedded electrodes that measure brain activity. So there's all the new stuff coming out in 2026. Autonomy on every corner. All right. It's been a huge year for autonomous vehicles. Okay, they're talking about robotaxi stuff. Maybe. I think Waymo's definitely expanding. Keep hearing that. I know there's a lot of Chinese startups that are doing that also. And even here in Korea, there is as well. So Elon always claims he's going to be, the best of that, but he's clearly not. No matter how much the Elon Tesla fanboys and fangirls say, he's not. He's already behind Waymo and the other Chinese startups, and you got more coming. Zoox is another one. So that. I'm not against the robot taxi driver thing, but I want them to be safe if we are going to do it, and I want them to be regulated. Do-it-yourself healthcare. Okay. Are we evolving AI with this one? Is that what we're doing? Healthcare costs are surging. And in fact, we just went over that in the last video. It's just really expensive in USA. In 2026, US businesses face the biggest increase in the last 15 years, over 9% by some estimates. Higher monthly premiums are also hit, right? So the super changing is DIY medicine. Okay. Digital native providers are powering the shift. Amazon's One Medical offers pay per session virtual care and Prime discount annual subscriptions. Okay. So basically they're going to try to get some AI in here and be able to do some teledoctor kind of stuff. So I think that trend is going to continue. And when you go through this stuff and say the journal's just giving us some ideas, but people track these things and you think, okay, I'm going to throw money at this. I think that's the future. I'm not going to throw money at that. And then, for you as a consumer or an investor, do keep track of the trends. You always want to be, aware of like, hey, if I want to get in early, what seems promising or what seems totally like a dead end. AI's mental health reckoning. Yeah. So there's been a lot of lawsuits regarding this kind of stuff. So in particular, I'll just say like if a young kid in high school or otherwise has a conversation with the AI will kind of encourage the kid to have whatever thoughts. And there can be any number of things that the AI could suggest the kid to do. So I think these are very serious things, especially for people who, and this is just real, like you just feel like maybe the people around you don't understand and you want to, ask questions about the world. And this is for any of us. I ask questions all the time, to the internet of like, hey, what about this? What about that? Right. And the way they have the AI now, it kind of feels a little bit more, natural speaking, more human for some. So for some, kids, they totally treat it like their friend. And we read about this stuff before to where some places are regulating it to where, you got to be careful with younger kids. So what does this say here? It says AI's mental health reckoning. Okay. For people struggling with mental health issues, chatting with AI can be a dangerous consequence. It can validate troubling ideas and paranoia and encourage delusions, right? So same thing that I was talking about. And there's going to be fight over how we regulate this stuff. So these are going to be the themes going into 2026. Also, EV supercars hit the streets. Oh, so like Ferrari, Lambos, and stuff like that. Okay. It says modern electric vehicles already tend to be performance monsters, but in terms of acceleration, top speed, and features, EV supercars are about to get truly silly. New releases from Polestar, Alpine, and Porsche. So I don't know Alpine. If you guys know Alpine, let me know. I just don't know. I know Polestar. I've driven a Polestar. I've driven a Porsche. Haven't driven an Alpine. Ferrari, I haven't driven. I've been in Ferraris. Just haven't driven one. And Mercedes, wow, yeah. And I think, and for people who, are Tesla fans or whatever, sometimes you may think I don't like electric cars. That's actually not true. I think electric cars are cool. I think they're the future. I like it that they're running much cleaner. Not sorry to say. It's okay. I want to make it clear. I'm well aware that the battery situation depends how you make it. It also depends on the kind of energy that the car uses, right? So yes, it's electricity, but where does that come from, right? Is it dirty energy to produce electricity, et cetera? But if we can solve those problems, get it clean all the way through the production cycle, and then have the electric car, I'm all on board. So I want to make that clear, because sometimes people bring up that criticism. But ultimately, I think that the goal should be sustainability and clean. The one thing I will say about the electric car thing was interesting. Elon Musk recently changed his Twitter, and he changed the mission statement over at Tesla. And I guess now they're not about sustainability. They're about, I think he called it amazing abundance or something stupid. And that's where we're at. So one thing you won't see in 2026, the long promised Tesla Roadster. Oh, it's not coming out. Oh, I'm so disappointed it never comes out. So those are the predictions of the Wall Street Journal. Tech that will change your life in 2026. Just want to go over some of the thoughts that they're thinking. And I want to hear your thoughts on this stuff. The surprise for me in this one, which I hadn't really thought of, was I would say the telemedicine one. I think it's probably going to be much bigger than realized. I haven't tried that kind of thing to what they're suggesting. And then maybe the other one is really be aware of the hackers and proving that you're human. I think there'll definitely be changes with stuff like that. So that's my thoughts on this. I want to hear yours, and I'll catch you on the next video.